What if your reality is not fully true? So recently I came across someone who was sharing that they felt they don't belong in a group. They felt kind of everyone is kind of rejecting them. They already have favorite people in with each other, and they felt casted out in the group, and they were asking what to do about it. This was something that I shared with them, and I hope that this helps you too. Our brains have something called a reticular activating system, and what that is to help our cells to function. Is the brain's filter to filter out some majority of the sensory that's coming in, so that we only have a certain amount of sensory to process, so that we can actually function in the world. Because imagine you're at a festival, there are a lot of people walking around, talking, chatting, laughing, yelling, and there's a lot of music, there's a lot of sound, there's a lot of noise going on. If we don't have something like this to filter the sensory out, we will not be able to function. So it helps us to function so that we can have a conversation with our friends, to notice what we want to notice. Now, the downfall of the reticular activating system is the fact that because we're only filtering what we want to come in, it's filtering a lot of things out. So while growing up, I'm sure we have all been in a situation where we have been rejected by someone, we've been hurt by someone, we've been ignored by someone. And these are painful experiences where our brain wants to hold on to, because it causes us pain. So it's kind of like a danger. It's like, oh, watch out for this, so you don't get hurt. Now, over time, as it comes on and on, it goes on, we start noticing these things more and more and more, and then we start believing these to be evidence that we are not loved, we have been rejected by people, and so on and so forth. And so for me, what happened was, since I was in high school, I always felt I was an outsider. I was always by myself. I felt like everybody had their own groups. They had their special dress code. They had their special interests. And I felt like I was a nobody. I was different and no one cared about me. And since then, I always had this notion that I don't belong in a group. So even until today, there are multiple times, if I don't actively catch myself, I will revert back to my old ways of thinking. Man, I feel so out of place. I don't belong. And that's okay. It's just noticing that it would come up, and I have to actively discourage myself from thinking that way. I would have to actively look for evidence to rebut this reality. So how you do that is to ask you this question: how is it not true? And then you give your brain this question, and your brain will start searching for answers for you. Then you may notice, oh, one of my friends actually, when I passed by, they smiled at me and waved at me. Or maybe when you're at an event with a friend, someone got you a snack. Or they might have said, hey, do you want to join us? So these are things that our brains are going to start searching for to rebut whatever you feel was your own belief. And so the one question is, how is this not true? And get your brain to start looking for them. So write them down, to read it through, to give yourself evidence how it is not true. And it may take some time, because as I said, it's very easy to revert back, but this is a way to kind of examine what is true, what is not true, and you can start like taking a step back to take a look at the bigger picture, to say, hey, there is more to it than what I see. because the world is so much more and has so much more potential. And if you've tried it and if you discover anything that you would like to share with me, I would love to hear what you have to share. That's all. I'll see you next time.